Welcome back to Unfiltered Truths. Today we're reflecting on the sudden passing of Lutheran Wenge, the longtime governor of Morobe Province in Papua New Guinea, who died on September 13, 2025, at the age of 65 after undergoing emergency surgery at Port Moresby General Hospital. If you've been following PNG politics, Wenge was a towering figure, a three-term governor known for his bold voice on justice, development, and provincial rights, serving from 1997 to 2012 and reclaiming his seat in 2022. His death has left Morobe and the nation mourning a leader who fought fiercely for his people. So grab a moment, get comfy, and let's honor his life like we're sitting together sharing stories from the Highlands, covering his remarkable journey, the circumstances of his passing, the tributes pouring in, and why his legacy will echo for years. Luther Isawa Wenge was born on December 12, 1959, in Morobe Province, into a family deeply rooted in the province's diverse communities. Growing up in a region that's PNG's economic powerhouse, home to La, the country's second-largest city, and key industries like mining and agriculture, Wenge learned early the value of advocacy and service. He pursued law, becoming a seasoned lawyer and magistrate before diving into politics, where his sharp legal mind and unyielding commitment to fairness made him a natural fit. Elected to the National Parliament in 1997 as a member of the People's Labour Party, he quickly rose to become Morobe's governor, a role he held for 3 terms until 2012. Those years were marked by tireless work on infrastructure, education, and health services in a province plagued by tribal conflicts and economic disparities. After a decade away from the spotlight, he stormed back in the 2022 elections, ousting incumbent Jinsen Gohiu Saunu to reclaim his seat and continue championing Morobe's needs on the national stage. Wenge's political career wasn't without its battles. He was a vocal critic of federal neglect, often clashing with Port Moresby over funding for roads, schools, and hospitals in remote areas like Tuwasiasi and Huon Gulf districts. As a human rights advocate, he pushed for constitutional protections and equitable resource sharing, earning him the nickname Sangang, a Morobe term for a fierce defender. In June 2023, he switched from the People's Labour Party to the ruling Panga Party, bolstering Prime Minister James Marape's coalition and amplifying Morobe's voice in national decisions. His tenure saw initiatives like restoring government services to underserved local-level governments in Salamaua and Siasi, uniting warring wards, and reopening aid posts and schools shut by violence. Wenge was unapologetic in Parliament, refuting media claims that painted him as unstable or supportive of opposition moves, and he always emphasized serving the people over party politics. Colleagues remembered him as a man of integrity, with one saying, "Luther's voice was bold and uncompromising when it came to protecting our rights." The news of Wenge's death broke like a thunderclap on September 13, 2025, when Prime Minister James Marape and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso announced it during an emergency press conference in Port Moresby. Wenge had been admitted to the hospital earlier that week for internal bleeding, undergoing urgent surgery to stabilize him, but complications proved too much. Rosso, who called an emergency meeting with provincial officials and Northern Command Assistant Police Commissioner Peter Guinness, confirmed Wenge passed peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. The cause was tied to surgical complications from the bleeding, though full details remain private out of respect for the family. Wenge's body was prepared for transport back to Morobe for a state funeral, with Rosso vowing to lead preparations to honor him with the greatest respect he deserves. The announcement hit Morobe hard. Flags were lowered to half-mast across the province, and La came to a standstill. As news spread through markets and villages, tributes poured in from across Papua New Guinea and beyond, painting a portrait of a leader who was as feared as he was loved. Prime Minister Marape called Wenge a man who served the people of Morobe and PNG with great distinction and courage over many years, praising his dedication to justice and development. East Sepik Governor Alan Bird described him as a strong, unapologetic voice, offering condolences on behalf of the Sepik people and recognizing their shared fight for fairness. Tuwasiasi MP Dr. Kabi Bomario expressed deep sadness, saying Wenge's departure was a tremendous loss for his family, Morobe, and the nation, highlighting his boldness in Parliament. Bougainville Regional Member Peter Tsimolili Jr. remembered him as a courageous advocate for justice and a true friend to Bougainville, grateful for his support during tough times. Bulolo MP Sam Basil Jr. echoed that, calling Wenge formidable, bold, eloquent, and never afraid to speak the truth. Even opponents respected his fire, with one former rival saying, "Luther was a defender of the Constitution. His voice won't be easily replaced." Social media lit up with hashtag RIP Wenge, fans sharing clips of his fiery speeches and photos from his 2022 campaign. One post reading, "From lawyer to governor, you fought for us all. Rest in power." Wenge leaves behind a wife, children, and a brother, Kennedy Wenge, who also served in Parliament, along with Giegere Wenge, head bishop of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of PNG. His family has requested privacy as they prepare for the state burial. With Morobe's government already initiating plans for a fitting tribute, the loss comes at a tough time for PNG politics, with Wenge People First Party navigating coalition shifts. But his passing unites Morobe in grief and resolve to carry on his work. Wenge's legacy is one of unyielding advocacy. A lawyer who became a governor, a voice for the voiceless in a province that's PNG's beating heart. From uniting warring communities in Salamaua to pushing for better services in Siassi, he embodied service over self. As PNG marks 50 years of independence, his absence is felt deeply, but his bold spirit lives on in every fight for justice. What do you think? How will Morobe honor Luther Wenge's legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like if his story inspired you, and subscribe for more political tributes. Tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for rocking with me, Rustin. Power, Sangang.